What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pub Sports Radio. I'm your boy Clint from the Die Hard MMA podcast, and we are bringing to you a special sharp action report from across the other side of the desk. We are joined by my guy Andrew from Superbook Sports. Andrew, how you doing today, man?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me back
Doing
on.
all right.
Excited for a more entertaining card than the last month or so.
Yeah, they've been a little bit rough, but we have gotten by. It's the biggest card of the year, so we had to do something a little special for this one. We appreciate your time, man. Let's dive on into this thing. So first fight of the night, Lena Landsberg, Carol Rosa. We've seen a big move for Carol Rosa as far as just seems like everybody likes her here in this spot. I picked her myself, so I understand why. What about you guys, and what about the other side of the desk? Has there been any notable sharp action, or is it just a flood on the younger fighter here?
Yeah, it's just a lot of one-way action. We opened this fight at 240. It's sitting at 330 here in Vegas, and it's just been really one-way action. And I mean, I don't really know. It's a lower fight on the card. I'm not too surprised by it, but I mean, I couldn't lay the price at what it's at now.
Yeah, it's pretty steep. I think everyone's kind of counting Lena Landsberg out. Like I said, man, I get it. I'm doing the same exact thing. I've got Carol Rosa in a parlay, so I think she's gonna roll here in this spot. But the price it does seem to be getting a little out of control at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Couple notable
Next up,
bets on it too. Nothing too
oh,
short.
okay. No notable bets. Good to know. All right. And I'm really curious about this next one, Andrew. We've got Muhammad Mokaev. This kid is 7-0, undefeated. Seems to be the talk of the town, just lighting the world on fire. And he's a ridiculous minus 1,400 favorite over Malcolm Gordon. Talk to me about this fight. How do you see this thing going down, or what action do we have to talk about on this one?
Yeah, this is another one that opened up at $8, and you can never open it high enough. It's sitting at $12 here now. It's one-way action, a lot of parlay money on the favorite. We took some action on the under as well, and nothing too notable. I mean, everyone's just loading up their parlays, free money, you know. But yeah, that should be a fun one.
Man, I hate that term. I anytime someone says free money, I feel like it's a trap, but not this one kind of does feel like free money if we're being honest, man. That's why you guys opened it minus 800 to start. All right. The next fight we want to talk about, Armen Petrosian, AJ Dobson. One that, just from my eye, has not moved a whole lot, but there's a lot of chatter going on about it. Have you guys seen anything interesting?
Yeah, so we opened Petrosian at 250. We're sitting at $2 now. We've took a few bets on Dobson, nothing too notable. Seems like that's kind of where the market's going. But yeah, it seems like people think the dog has a good chance in this one. Not too many bets, I'm not going to lie to you. This is one of the lower action fights so far on the card, but it'll pick up before tomorrow, I'm sure.
I'm sure. And hey, we got an early start though. I'm surprised we don't have more action at this point, because these are not kicking off at 5 p.m. They're 10 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
I like the dog. I think the dog has a good chance in the first round. He might be able to stop him. I mean, he throws some bombs. We'll see what happens. And it's an exciting fight.
It's a super exciting fight. They did a good job of stacking the early run of this card. We should have our chest pounding pretty quick the way these guys fight for these first three fights. Really, I can't wait. I felt like it was a dog or pass from a betting perspective, but I'm still picking the favorite to win. It's one of those weird situations where I feel like the line is too wide to bet, but at the same time, I kind of like the favorite.
With you.
All right, man. Next up, Abubakar Nurmagomedov taking on Omar Gadzhiev. Just an absolute mouthful here on this one. Kind of feel like maybe another dog or pass spot for myself personally, but not one I felt confident enough to bet. Have you seen a little bit more action on this one?
Yeah, this one it's one way action. It's more money on Nurmagomedov. I'm not sure if it's because of the name recognition or what, but I'm kind of with you. I think the dog has a good chance in this fight, but it's really been one way action. Um, there's actually a lot of money on the under in this fight as well, so they're expecting some violence in this one. Um, nothing too notable, but that's where the money stands right now.
That is kind of the way that I leaned as well. I feel like the dog is live, and I felt like the under, if I was going to bet it, was going to be the way that I would go. Where did you guys open this one? I'm curious.
Let me check. Looks like we opened it at 180, and it's sitting here at
Interesting.
160 right now. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
we're seeing a bunch of money on the favorite, yet the line has moved the other way.
yeah,
That always jumps off the page at me anytime that happens.
yeah. No, not a lot of sharp money here, but that might indicate that there's some sharp money out there for sure.
Yeah, the market is doing something on that kind of a move. I've been looking
Hmm.
at Omar Gadzhiev this entire week, just kind of stroking the beard, man, and that might be enough to get me over the edge here. All
Okay,
right, next
I
fight
like
up,
it.
a super exciting one. I've heard some hot takes on this fight on both sides. Volkan Oezdemir taking on Nikita Krylov. I've been very vocal in the fact that I'm not a fan of Nikita Krylov from a betting perspective. I just don't believe in the guy at this level. But Vulcan, he's no prize either. He's not exactly someone I want
Yeah.
to go to war with in this spot either. So kind of a pass from me, but I'm curious what's going on the other side of the counter.
It looks like actually people agree with you. We opened this one at 75. It's sitting 75. Uh, not a lot of action for a fun fight. I think it's a good fight. I mean, I could see this one being under. I like the under here.
Mhm.
But I really got nothing to share with you guys about any of the action we've taken on this one. It's been sitting at 75 since we opened it. Seems like we put up a good line, and people are kind of stumped like you. We don't know what to do with it.
That's so interesting to me because these are two names that we know pretty well. You know, people can't pronounce all the
Yeah,
Russians and stuff like that. You'd think that would drive some action to this one with two notable guys that we've seen a lot.
100%. I agree with you. I'm surprised by it. It's one of the lowest action fights of the week, and it's an exciting fight with bigger name
Wow.
guys. Title.
Yeah.
Oezdemir fought for a title. It's kind of crazy.
That's crazy. All right. I'm gonna be excited to see what happens on that one tomorrow, man. Uh this one I have some personal stake in, so I need to know, man. Mahmoud Muradov and Kyle Borralho. This is maybe the Twitter main event. Like, obviously, we've got to ignore the top 4 or 5 fights on this card, but there are so many people on this particular fight with extremely strong opinions. I like the dog personally, and I've got a bet on him, but I'm curious
Okay.
if you guys have anything notable.
Well, it looks like the market agrees with you. We opened it at 260. We're sitting at 210 now. There's really good two-way action on this fight. This is a popular fight this week. One of the highest handle fights, other than like the main three fights. Um,
Wow.
I'm not really sure. I like the favorite. There's no real notable bets, but it should be a good one. I mean, I think the dog has a good chance early, but if he gets taken down late, I just don't know how he's going to get past this guy. This guy's a beast on the ground.
The grappling is a massive question. Honestly, man, his best shot is to just keep it standing. That's the got to
Yeah,
be the game plan is keep it up on the
definitely.
feet. That one's so exciting. High
You said
stakes in
you're on
that
the you're
fight.
on the dog on this one.
Yeah, yeah, I like Muradov. He's got an 80% takedown defense. And frankly, man, I feel like he looked past Gerald Mearshart in his last fight. He fought so recklessly in that
Hmm.
fight and gassed himself out going for the finish. I think we see a much more measured, paced, and controlled version of him in this fight. So I kind of expect this one to go over, get to the second or the third round and see how we end up from there.
Okay, like it.
We'll see what happens. All right, man. Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady up next. The I think the closest line fight on the entire card, if I'm correct.
Yes. Say it again.
I was just saying this is the closest line fight on the entire card, so I'm curious what you guys have over there on this
Oh, I
fight.
believe you're right. Yeah. Yeah, so we opened this one at 40. It's sitting at 45 right now. We've taken good action on the two-way. We did take a sharp bet on Bilal earlier today to win by decision. So that kind of perked the ears of some of the guys in the back, and I know there's a couple guys who ended up betting Bilal back there. So
Okay.
if I had to decide, I would say that's the side I'm leaning.
It's one I've been battling all week, man. I lean to Bilal as well. Personally, I just kind of think he shouldn't be the underdog here. Quite frankly, that's like all it comes down to for me is he's got the resume that he
Yeah.
should be the slight favorite, regardless of which side you end up on. I just think the line is backwards. So I would be looking at Bilal myself, and Bilal doesn't finish anybody. So Bilal by decision makes some
No.
sense to get a little extra juice out of that number there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always fun for me to hear when the guys behind the scenes decide to jump in betting that way when an action piece comes in that gets everybody moving. All right. Caitlin Chookagian taking on Menov Fiorot coming up next. The weight miss of the day. Caitlin Chookagian coming in 1.5 pounds over. And I don't know if that's going to weigh too heavily on anybody, but I'd be curious to hear if anybody came in today after weigh-ins to bet this one, because the weight misses are always interesting to see who interprets that and how they interpret it. Have you gotten anything recently on this one?
No, this is another one that's pretty low energy thus far.
Okay.
We opened at 220. It's sitting 210, which means we hung a good line, and clearly people agree with it. We have some good parlay money on Caitlin, but other than that, it's kind of been a pass from the public so far.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough, man. Caitlin Chookagian has a tendency to just be a decision machine. So on a card with this much action,
Yeah.
not surprising to hear that that one kind of falls to the wayside with people not being overly interested.
Yeah, if you're gonna bet her, I mean, why wouldn't you bet her by decision? I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. We're getting to the top of this thing. Here comes the good stuff. Benil Dariush, Mateusz Gamrot. Another one where, Gamrot just fits that parlay vibe for me. I've got him in a parlay. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
the right side. I feel like the line might be a little wide, but kind of like some of the other ones we've talked about, I do feel like he gets his hand raised in the end. So I did throw him in a parlay myself. What kind of action do we see on this one?
So all week, this has been one that I really liked Gamrot, and then today we got a sharp bet on Dariush, which is kind of
Oh,
frustrating for me, but I still think Gamrot gets it done. This is a really good two-way action fight, but where we stand now, we need the favorite. So I
oh
like it,
boy.
but it's probably better to be in line with the sharp.
Okay, that doesn't make me feel comfortable at all. I've got a few too
I'm
many
with you.
people. Yeah, man, I've got a few too many people who I respect that are on the dog, and now to hear that you guys have gotten sharp action on the dog, that's terrifying for me with Mateus and a parlay. All right, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to plug my nose on that one. That's not great. The third fight on our 1, 2, 3 punch here for the final three: Petrosian, Sean O'Malley. I know this line opened up decently wider pretty much everywhere around the world, and you guys hung an early
Yeah.
number on this one, unless I'm mistaken as well. I'm curious how this line has fluctuated for you guys since we opened it.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we were a little off on that one. We should have expected the public money to come in on O'Malley. We opened this fight at $4. It's sitting at 275 Jan's way right now in Vegas. And this morning we took a sharp bet on O'Malley to win by decision at 5-1. I mean, there's good two-way action. A ton of parlay money on Jan. What else was bet? We did take a sharp bet on Jan by knockout as well. So I mean, there's respected action on both sides. I'm pulling for O'Malley. I just don't see how he really gets it done. I mean, the 3 rounds definitely favors him, you would think.
It does.
But yeah.
I'm with you, man. I talked about this one this morning. I am tempted on that exact decision prop on Sean O'Malley. I was very surprised to see it. I think it was at 5-1. Obviously, now it's down to plus
Yeah.
425. So,
Yeah,
decent
we moved it
sized
very
move there.
aggressively.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw
That
that.
guy
There's
who
some
bet it
other.
is very, very respected.
Okay. And that's, you know what, man, that's another one where that's all I need to hear, because if that's the way that I'm leaning personally, hearing that a very respected bettor has come in and moved the market that much himself, I'm probably going to have to go. I'm probably going to have to jump on that line myself, because I've been kind of having that itchy trigger finger. Jan is just so durable. Like, I don't want to doubt Sean O'Malley. I know he hits hard, but nobody's hurt Jan ever. So I've got a hard time seeing
Yeah.
him come through and get a knockout in this spot. And you're basically doubling the line if
Right.
that's O'Malley's best path to victory. So I like that decision prop.
Agreed.
All right, man. Co-main event time. TJ Dillashaw, Aljamain Sterling. Don't hurt me, Andrew. I've got a very strong stance myself on this one. Talk to me, man. What do you guys have on the other side of the table?
Well, it looks like the people definitely agree with your side. Everyone is betting Dillashaw like it is it's a lock. The book definitely needs the champion to retain here. We took a couple very large wagers on Dillashaw early. We opened this line up at 80 at Aljo at 180, and it's still
Mhm.
sitting at 180. So I know we like Sterling here, but uh, clearly the people like the other side.
Okay. And that's interesting. That honestly, that makes me a little bit nervous hearing that everybody is on TJ. I've seen a lot of love and a lot of love for Aljo, a lot of hate for TJ. So I kind of thought I was being sneaky and making a
Wow. Okay.
smart bet there and sharp there. But if everybody else is piling in on that side, that's nerve wracking.
Yeah, I mean, it could be different elsewhere, but where we sit right now, I mean, there's still time to take some bets, obviously, but we have a lot of action on Dillashaw this far.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, deep breath. Got to just hold the line there on that one, I guess, and pray I've got the right read. Main event time, man. Charles do Bronx Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, the most debated fight we've had in a long time. Two of the best resumes the UFC has ever seen. Maybe one of the biggest title fights in UFC history. Talk to me about this one and where the action is.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised this one is riding as much as it is. You never would have thought a couple of years ago that a fighter like Islam, the way he fights, would warrant this much handle. It's an exciting fight, and so far we have a lot of two-way action. Oliveira, we took a sharp bet on Oliveira to win by knockout at plus 660 earlier today. Uh, we have a real respected bet on Islam that we took a few days ago. And I mean, really, this bet is just being bet both ways. It's a super high action fight.
Yeah, that was one that I was expecting to hear sharp action on Islam. Obviously, I'm a little surprised to hear that we got sharp coming the other way as well. Really back and forth fight, nonstop from everybody online. We're seeing hot takes one way and the other. So pick your poison, man. Where do you lean on this one? I
Yeah.
want to hear your thoughts on this fight.
Um, the way I've seen the betting come in, my brain tells me to bet Islam. Like everything I've learned since being here, the way that this is being bet, Islam's going to win this fight. But obviously, my heart is rooting for Charles. I'd like him to get it done. I think he's more exciting for the sport. He's just such an exciting fighter to watch. I mean, how can you not like the guy? But we'll see what happens. I think if I had to bet, I would definitely bet Islam, and I think he gets it. He'll finish him if it goes later.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you and I are in the
What
same
are your
boat on
thoughts?
that one, Andrew. It's definitely a head versus heart spot. I'm rooting my ass off for
Yeah.
Charles. He's so fun. But if I did make a bet, I haven't bet this one, but if I did make a bet, I think I would have to lay it with Islam. So I'm probably just going to keep my hands in my pockets. This one's going to be fun enough just watching it. I don't think I need any investment on this one.
it should be a super fun fight. I mean, this card is. I'm glad not a lot of fighters, knock on wood, have pulled out so far. It should be an awesome card.
It's going to be awesome. I'm sad we lost the one fight, but I'm glad it was only the one. Andrew, thank you so much for spending your time here with us today. I really appreciate it, man. We appreciate the knowledge and the info that you provide to us. I don't know. Is there anything that you want to shout out? Any promos going on or anything like that that people need to know about?
Yeah, we got our weekly boosts up. If you want to come check out our boosts on our website at Superbook. Follow me on Twitter, obviously. And good luck betting the card this week. Should be a good
All
one.
right. There we go. Thank you all so much. Smash the like button here for us and go sign up. Check out Superbook Sports. Good luck at UFC 268. We'll see you guys next time. Let's roll.